Welcome back to the back nine coverage of the 2025 German Championships FPO final round. I am still Karl Rose and I'm still joined by Connor O'Brien.
I'm still throwing 90 meters.
Sophie Rossdeutscher and Freckles the sports dog.
Let's take a quick look at the scores. It is all tied up and it's super exciting.
Antonia Faber, Maren Moßig and Matej Sumowski all with plus 22.
Nice. Yeah, anyone's game. Who's gonna take it down? Stay tuned. Thank you to the Disc Golf store for providing us with the discs we need. And what discs do you need on hole 10? I don't know, at least not from an FPO standpoint. It's a 120 meters par 3. I would say this is kind of out of reach for most FPO players. A backhand roller would be the way to get it there, but I think they are going for par mostly.
See, I think we're allowed to critique some FPO, MPO layouts, and we'll see how this one plays out. Mine, an only right-handed player lining up. A big old shot. That's bleeding left.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like very hard because it's like going from left to right, also like uphill on the right side.
Yeah, that air shot turning over is 10 out of 10 difficulty. For a left-handed player, this is a pretty good hole. It's just, Antonia threw it pretty perfect, I think.
Yeah. Question is if we see like a lot of like score separation on this one. And it seems like everyone's just like laying up in the fairway.
Stats guy, please spoiler this one for us.
I can tell us that we have, it's averaging 3.6, 3.6 for the Germans out there who are, for some reason, listening to the English commentary. Not a lot of separation. Maren lining up her upshot. Her trusty spike getting it done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Maren was almost pin high there. So I think if she executes a perfect angle, she might have a putt on this one. But yeah, there's not really a lot of danger on that hole. But as you can see, Matej being the furthest left-handed thrower, with a very good tee shot, but still 30 meters probably, 25.
I can say now that all of our ladies are there cleaning up their easy pars, that there were no birdies on this hole. And essentially half of the field got pars. It's just not a very dangerous hole, but also not a very exciting hole for the FPO field there.
Well, maybe the next hole might provide some more excitement. Connor?
Yeah.
Oh, Sophie.
Yeah, that's one is for me. It's a hole 11, par 3, 110 meters. Also seems very long for an FPO hole. You have OB on the left side, you have an OB patch on the right side, and you also have like a hazard bunker right before the basket. So you definitely have to look out for that one on your approach.
I can't speak to this because I've never had footage being taken of my films, but it seems like everybody's a little bit uncomfortable with the cameraman there. I don't know. You two have both dealt with this before. How do you feel being filmed during a round?
Like Leonardo DiCaprio.
Is that how you feel as well, Sophie?
No, I feel like they're doing like a great job. Like especially like Dreamflight, I was like on video once and I didn't notice them after hole 2. I guess they.
Maren's shot there really, really good. Very, very close to the sand bunker there. And she'll have an outside look at birdie and a very easy par.
Yeah, the cameras are really something. It can either push you if you feel confident. It can kind of, for me, it usually gives me some energy when playing. But I feel like if you start doubting yourself and then there's cameras around, it can be very hard to deal with. So yeah, two-edged sword, and also I think personality dependent, maybe.
Antonia, a very safe shot. She had a little bit more difficult upshot for her par. Mattia also very close to that bunker, making her par, her long birdie shot, much more realistic.
Yeah, great shots there.
Yeah, going for that hole is a bit easier when you're left-handed. You can kind of take the bunker out of play a little bit more on the hyzer line. But as you can see, playing it a little bit short to the bunker is a very good play that also, a lot of people on my card took.
We're not seeing any nerves on upshots right now. When they play for their pars, we see everybody very easily placing their discs there within bullseye.
Yeah.
Mattia maybe not very satisfied with that result, but within bullseye.
I feel like she gave it a little run and she was hoping for that birdie.
Yeah. Back to the stats guy, earning my reputation as the stats guy here. I'm very surprised to see that this hole had significantly fewer bogeys in comparison to the last one. This is actually averaging 3.5 as opposed to hole 10's 3.6. It was birdied once. I would have expected more bogey and more punishment here with the hazards right within the green.
Yeah, that's very surprising, and a great drone view here.
Yeah, I guess there was no action to be spoke of on the putting green there. But hole 12, a very surprisingly difficult 85-meter par 3. It's swinging far to the right, and we see here it is a tight green with a lot of workout equipment scattered along the way. You have to hit this and then bend far to the right while avoiding these hurdles. I imagine they have during the tournament played a role in some shots, but it's also a very tight gap with a very far bend. I don't expect a lot of low numbers here, and I can imagine there being a lot of high numbers within the field at least. Hopefully not within this card.
Yeah, and the leaves on the trees didn't make it easier. I think if you play this hole the way it was filmed, there might have been some birdies. But yeah, it's just very hard after you make that tunnel to go far enough to the right. Most people with a great drive, and I think it's not necessarily the distance for Antonia and Martin. If you have to keep it very tight to the left, while also playing a pushing hyzer, and then you would have to get a skip through the hurdles to really get to circle one.
Oh! Okay, I was hoping we saw something.
What?
You saw
I mean,
the ace?
they cut to the other camera angle, and I thought we were going to see something cool. But as you said, I think all of these women are playing very smartly for a safe par.
Yeah, and that's a good position. Just getting something into the fairway to the point where you have a straight upshot is very good on this hole.
And Mattia really executing that. We see Antonia having to get a little bit more creative.
This is not Antonia.
Oh, this is mine. I was actually like, wow. Antonia playing with her false hand.
Yeah, right-handed thumber. Antonia has
That
it
was
all.
like a very nice hammer.
Yeah, this was not a thumber either. Oh, Jesus.
All right.
Oh,
But I can say now, we're watching everybody scramble or finding their way to the green. I think Antonia catching a tree there. This is the third hardest hole for the women, scoring 4.6 over a stroke and a half over par.
As you could see, Antonia was to the right side of the fairway, which makes the upshot so difficult. Her drive wasn't bad, but yeah, she had to play a pretty technical shape into the pin there, and unfortunately caught the guardian tree, and there is
Great putt.
a turbo make.
After her overhead scramble, she really worked for it and she made it happen.
Crafty par.
Oh,
No way. It seemed a little rushed.
that's heartbreaking. Yeah, she should have been like an easy par, like a super nice upshot.
I mean, Mattia played the hole the best up until that point.
But we all been there, just like not super committed putt, like nerves getting in the way, and then
I'm not sure if... To me it looked like it was maybe just rushed, like she took it for granted, but maybe it was just the cut of the camera. Hole 13, 125 meters par 3. Not too much to that hole. There's an OB to the left side that gets pretty close to the pin. You can kind of just play a straight shot that finishes to the left in the end, or for the left-handed player you can hang a hyzer out over the OB, which is scary. Yeah, one of the easier holes of the course, I would say.
Maren hoping to carry her momentum from the last hole with her.
Maren took the lead with that one.
Yeah.
For the first time in the tournament, I suppose.
Like we were saying in the front 9 introduction videos. Oh boy!
Putting pedal to the metal.
Momentum, if it wasn't on her side, it is now. Antonia and Mattia have to respond to that.
And for Antonia and Mattia, this shot, if you want to put it to the basket, is very scary. I cannot see a disc. Lucas can't either. And lost disc?
No, it seems like right there in the middle of the fairway. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Carl.
I am the weird one, okay.
I turned that around on you.
Dude, you saw nothing.
Not until it zoomed in.
And? Where is it, Connor?
There, I found it. It's rolling.
What? Oh.
Sitting down.
They are thrilled.
You can really see how far Maren's throw was.
Yeah, but
that
what
was
a-
a crush.
What a great upshot from Antonia again. Momentum's not on her side right now, but she's still just there, no chance in birdie, and very clinically making her par everything but
Yeah, no mistakes
essentially
on her
inevitable.
side. Yeah.
Honestly, I think Antonia is so controlled in her game. It's really, to me, she seems the least likely to slip up and take a huge number at any point.
I mean, we watched her get some unfortunate kicks in the last hole and still get her bogey, but here we see Maren pulling even further away, getting high fives from her competitors. It's nice to see still there, the positivity. But these two are ready for the next hole, ready to get back in the race.
What?
I mean, that putt must feel kind of nervy after the last hole. Just to get back into it.
We are outside.
We are together.
Oh my!
We are healthy.
We are inclusive.
Smile.
Smile. You are playing
Disc golf.
PDGA Europe.
Smile.
Yeah, next hole is number 14, another par 4, 245 meters, but plays a little bit downhill. We have OB on the right side. We have some hazard bunkers that come into play, especially in your approaches. But the drive is just a rip for the right-handed players. Mostly a flag shot, bite off as much distance as you can. Fade out to the left.
And our current leader, Maren, is going to be taking the first shot here, hoping to keep the momentum and keep these fans interested. Nope, that's a caddy.
That's mine.
It's beautiful out here on this course.
It really is. You should have been there.
Yeah, it looked I don't want to say boring, but not as beautiful on the caddy book. And in real life, it's just so different.
Connor, do you think you would birdie this hole?
Of course.
What are you saying? He has 95 meters
What
of
are you-
distance.
What are we talking about? Maren biting up about 15 meters longer than I would have. Let's focus on the FPO, please, Kyle.
Sorry.
Antonia Heiser all the way.
Wow.
It's a beautiful shot.
Yeah, good flip up. Almost had a little baby flex on it. That was a very nice angle.
I can't really tell where that is in relation to the basket, but I assume that's what she was looking for. Oh, this is an awesome shot.
Wow.
I feel like I heard something like Sauber Mati, so I feel like that was a great shot. I think we can assume.
Great listener.
Yeah, she gets like a low 5 there.
Yeah, she's getting high fives. I'm going to assume. Okay, she's not first up.
Had to be great, right?
But Antonia, I thought she had a fantastic shot, and she's first up, so I think our FPO lead card is in a good position right now.
Mm-hmm. I'm curious to see if this is reachable or if she goes for it. And
She's hanging out wide and does not swing back.
yeah, too much flip, but I think for par this should be a very good position. Although it might be a little blind to the basket if you're to the left side behind that bunker. Huh.
Mine maybe not taking it wide enough.
No, it looks like it's a par play.
It looks super safe. Also looks like she has definitely like a...
Her body English there tells me that she wanted that to be further to the right.
Yeah, you could see it remote controlling the disc to the right.
Works for me most of the time.
Mathieu with a good chance to get one back. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's good.
That looks like a really good opportunity. Looking to get back in control of this card.
That looks like the first... Oh.
Yeah. But you see the way that the basket is between those two obstacles, especially for a left-handed player there. She cannot put it too far left.
Yeah, that like she knew right out of her hand that was not what she was looking for.
Honestly, in the left to right wind, I would have loved to see maybe a straight or like a slight flex shot to kind of counteract the impact of the wind a little bit more from that position.
Yeah, the wind definitely started to pick up during that round, it feels like.
Yeah, I think this day was actually the least windiest day by far. But yeah, you can see there is some wind blowing. I feel like at the beginning of the round it was fairly wind still. Connor?
Fairly calm.
Calm. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
This looked like Mati was like trying to go for it, but like decided against it in the last second. But she liked her option. She was smiling.
Antonia not able to save her bogey there.
Yeah, Marty was a little further away than I thought. And
Yeah.
this is important. Not the easiest putt in the wind.
Just a little bit low, but like with the headwind, she was probably thinking about it and like aiming lower.
Tapping out a bogey.
Yeah, still a miss from that distance is down the stretch. Can get you thinking. We will see how she reacts to this.
Mattia picking up one stroke on Mon.
Yeah.
Well, Antonio losing a little bit of ground to our first two leading ladies. Hole 15, a par 342 meters. It's gotta be downhill. But it's probably a little bit far for our competition here. It's between two trees, it looks like here, but it's not much to think about for our left-handed players. I think it's going to be a little bit more difficult of a shot shape. For our right-handed big arm, it's just going to be boosting a shot out straight.
Yep. Yeah, this hole is kind of like made by the position of the basket a bit, I think. It's exposed to the wind heavily, and as you can see, there are two trees blocking two angles to the basket. So yeah, and even on the parts of the green where the trees don't come into play, if you airball, you're done.
Man. Unhappy with the body language. not enough pushing forward and landing pretty far left of her target.
Yeah, that looked pretty undercommitted, honestly. I think she could get it easily into circle 2 when she really rips on it.
But again, we've made this comment a few times, and it's a beautiful golf grounds that we're on, but it just seems like for the FPO field, a little bit of an uninteresting shot shape, unless Antonia just parked it.
Antonia is 30 short, I think.
Okay, well, yeah, looking at mines here, parking it perfectly, but I imagine we are going to be seeing here pars, and most FPO cards are going to be seeing a lot of pars here.
Yeah, it's kind of like when you execute, 3 shots kind of executed, not great, not bad, and then you're left with, 25-meter upshots. Is that a hole that's interesting? I'm not sure.
No, it's also a hole where you just go, you're not even thinking about hole 15. You get down to 14 and you're thinking about 16.
Maybe Marty is 13, 14 meters away.
Ooh.
Very nice run, yeah.
Without that tree, it'd be
you
much
could
more
see
honest.
The tree is directly into...
Yeah, maybe that's just one of those holes, just like displays, that you can get it when you have like a lot of control distance.
Again, Stack Guy walking up though, I can say that over 80% of the field's got a par here. Let's make sure Martin parks. Yeah, 80% of the field getting it. All of our lead card, no birdies. So it's just kind of moving on. It's as if the whole course was 17 holes long. Could have just skipped 15.
Let's play disc golf. Let's go to the disc golf store in Berlin. Yes, sir.
I haven't been there. This is
You
you,
should.
Carl?
Oh, myself. Yeah, hole 16, 229 meters downhill. I think, in contrast to the MPO pin position, this is actually a pretty gettable hole for the FPO. Yeah, you have to blast something down the hill where, with the headwind, the angle and the height gotta be precise, and you better choose the right disc stability. And then you have kind of an awkward approach downhill to that pin. There's a a pond behind it, so yeah, better have your distance control on lock.
Yeah, I heard a lot about this hole from the MPO side. That was like a round breaker, I feel like, for the MPO field.
Yeah,
Let's see how it plays for the girls.
Yeah, you can ask Marin's caddy about that. But for the FPO...
You said it now. I didn't want to name anyone here.
But from what I can see from the whole preview, the upshot looks nerve-wracking. You have to get a lot of distance while making sure your speed is absolutely slow enough to check up before you get to the pond.
Yeah, it really depends on the first shot, because if you execute the angle and the shape right, you can get so far down there that the upshot is just easy. But yeah, if you don't, then the upshot is hard, and I'm not sure what happened to Marin's disc there.
It looks like she may have made it a little bit too wide to the right side.
I feel like she pulled it to the right, maybe overturned. I didn't see where it ended up.
We didn't see the results, but we'll see after Antonia's shot here.
Antonia needs something here. She needs at least 2 birdies, I think, to still be in the conversation.
In the last 3 holes, yeah.
And that looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Still far ways, but the best shot of the bunch, it looks like.
Marcia first up. Still a lot to bite off.
Yeah, I know for a fact that she birded that hole in at least the first round, maybe also the second one, so she can definitely get there. And that looks like a nice approach, maybe not as close as she hoped for.
Are they checking whether or not it's in bounds?
Is that the right side? Because there was only OB to the left.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, if you're in there, it's kind of like natural OB, obviously. Maren stayed on the side of it.
Looks like colliding with those trees on the right side.
Yeah,
But staying safe.
yeah, but she's down there a long ways, so now it should be a pretty manageable par. Yeah, and Antonia choosing to understable of a disc here. It's very hard. You need to obviously still throw some distance, but then it's so hard to choose the right disc stability sometimes if you don't have the power to kind of just like mash on something overstable all the way down to the green.
This is mine's third shot on a hole that's very gettable for her from the distance. I still think that this upshot looks absolutely
It's also
terrifying.
elevated, right? Yeah, it looks,
Yeah, she was farther away than I thought.
Yeah. Matja. Finding it will be long. But I imagine that is a result that a lot of cards have seen, a lot of players have seen. It's a very, very difficult downhill speed control test.
Yeah, looks like Matja still has a good chance to save par though, because I don't think the OB is too far away from the basket there. So
We called this very gettable from distance, but it's just a very demanding series of shots.
yeah, it's something you never do.
I've never done it.
Oh, gives this a run. That's really nice.
Okay, and Matja was outside the circle, so I was wrong.
Other than our island hole in the front nine, this is the hole that was birdied the most often, but we see it also has teeth. This is for spectators, is a very, very interesting hole, and a very, very frustrating result there for a good putt.
Yeah, speaking of frustrating, that spit out was brutal.
exactly.
That looked in from my perspective, but then...
I also saw such a nice pace, and Maren decides to lay up.
I mean, yeah,
bogey.
that's...
What do you
With only like 2 holes left, she's in the lead right now.
What do you think about that decision? I mean, that was inside the circle.
She's
Facing OB.
3 holes
yeah.
away from the end of the German Championships, and she has the lead.
Yeah, I feel like that's smart.
That's very
especially if like you are not the most like secure person on the putting green. If
Yeah.
you're like Antonia, maybe you can
Yeah.
like go for it, but like if your strength or especially in like drives and approaches, then yeah. Oh, now let's go on. Let's move on to hole 17. It's another par 471 meters. Seems gettable. You have OB on the right side, but you also have like, looks like the fairway is like sloping from left to right, so could be harder for the left-handed players to like skip OB right. But yeah, interesting to see how they play it.
Yeah, I would say for a left-handed player, this approach can also be an advantage because you can take it all the way around those trees, but then again, it makes the approach shot play longer. So there's kind of that, and you can definitely skip to the right, but the OB is pretty close to the basket.
Mine with one of the biggest shots of her career right now.
Oh, and she gets very lucky that.
Flying over OB with all the trees there and getting out.
Oh, that's a great position now.
We've seen how every hole here has teeth. Neither of these other competitors are out of it. I'd call that a solid result.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the throw? Is that her drive?
What else would it be?
Matja now for her second throw.
It's her first. Super important. Oh, and she pulls it so far to the left.
You see the way she turns away immediately there.
Yeah, rightfully so. Marty can definitely birdie this hole.
But I think every person here can empathize with the pressure that she's feeling.
Yeah, I mean, she's the one that like needs to hunt those birdies, while Maren can like play it safe.
Yeah, Martin needs to make sure she at least takes par here and then honestly hope for Maren to mess up.
swinging pretty far left.
Good recovery, but not all work is done yet.
I said left, I meant right.
Left from the catch cam angle.
Thank you. It's kind of you. Antonio landing in a very similar location. Here's Mon's result after a very risky drive that really worked out for her.
Wow. Interesting, she's going for the green. I don't really like that place so much. She kind of flirted with that branches to the right side when she didn't really need to.
I think she feels comfortable there.
I guess like sometimes you feel it. If you feel it, you just go for it, I guess.
I think she pulled it a little bit. She probably meant to play it a little bit more to the left, but now it's very good. It's inside the circle, and Mathieu also inside the circle for the par.
Yeah, after Mathieu's disappointing drive there, she did everything she could to recover there.
Yeah.
Easy tap in par. Same for Antonia.
This is huge. Oh, yes.
She knows it. It is going into the last hole. It is definitely her tournament to lose right now.
Her tournament to lose indeed, but hole 18 can prove to be difficult and definitely has some danger.
Yeah, just, oh yeah, high fives all around. That was a very nice birdie, and also like Martin knows that, but she also knows that she definitely needs to attack hole 18.
Birdie or die.
Birdie or die. Must be very tough. Yeah, but before we go into hole 18, I've heard we have a sweepstakes, and Connor is going to tell us all about it.
The sweepstakes sponsored by Disc Golf Store, our sponsor here for this video. One of many, but we're very, very thankful for it. You see all of our lead competitors here signing the disc, a disc that you can win if you, us too, I'll be commenting. If you like the video, if you comment to the video, and you also subscribe to Dreamflight. When you comment on the video, you can comment something like, what's your favorite hole on the man, or maybe who your favorite commentator is from the three of us.
But there is a correct answer.
And it's Connor. Moving on. Hole 18. Very last one, and a very dramatic one for this very, very high class round here. It's 158 meter par 4. First, you have to bite off distance here as it curves from left to right. You have a bunch of sloped landing areas that make it difficult. You have a Mando at the end that you have to keep in mind. More of a problem for Maren, the right-handed player. But I think we all know that the biggest obstacle right now are the nerves and the stakes of what are involved here. We see them trying to keep spirits high and loose as much as possible, but Maren is facing down the biggest challenge of her career, winning the German championships.
And Maren is going for flat hyzer skip line. Oh, and is that in the bunker? It is.
It is. Oh my God.
That didn't look like a terrible shot. I think you usually do not think about that bunker. It's a very uncommon place to land, honestly.
She's built herself the puffer, the room to make that mistake, but it's a mistake.
You don't want to make it though,
Yeah.
because now she has to chip in front of the Mando, and then she still has to execute an approach, or double bogey is looming. And Martin knows with a birdie or with a great tee shot, she can put a lot of pressure on Maren.
A more aggressive shot from Mathieu.
That's great. That's so great. This is a very difficult shot for the left-handed player, and as you can see, she carried that golf green perfectly, and I think now she has a hyzer to attack for birdie.
Is that too high? A little bit too high, maybe. Maybe got like stuck in those trees a little bit.
Right outside of circle, it seems.
Yeah, and Mathieu definitely has the hyzer power to get it there.
Launches.
Is that safe?
It seems so.
Oh, this is so much pressure.
On Maren as well.
Yeah, Maren has no angles, so she has to do that.
Really? Oh,
there's the Mando.
The Mando there. She has to pitch out.
Yeah, she needs to put that one close.
God, what a costly mistake. This is the shot. Standing on the drop zone, essentially.
And that's not super close. That is still a nervy putt for sure.
Looks like 7-8 meters.
Antonia for birdie.
Very close. Also checks up.
So Antonia will be finishing up with a
This is it. Maren.
26.
Mathieu has to make this.
Oh, just a little bit high.
We see that there's a headwind
Yeah.
there, yeah. And we can see by the flag what she was dealing with there, but that makes Maren's life a lot easier.
Yeah, she can just lay this up. Which she does not. Oh, what is happening?
Antonia tapping her par out. Mathieu also with her par, which leaves Maren with this, I believe, double bogey.
Yes.
To win the German championships with a plus 24.
Yeah, congrats to Maren. Like, she played awesome.
What an exciting round.
Yeah.
What an exciting finish, honestly.
I was like, you can't. Yeah, it must be so heartbreaking for Marty to be so close and to like lose it during like the last few holes yet again.
Yeah, but honestly, Maren stepped on the pedal when she needed to and really showed a great last stretch. Congrats to her.
The crowd giving all three competitors the applause they deserve, but here is our German champion of 2025.
They are so cute.
Congratulations to Moßig.
Es ist verrückt. Ich kann es immer noch nicht wirklich glauben. Es war vor allem nervlich anspruchsvoll. Ich habe die ersten beiden Bahnen nicht gut gespielt, beide wieder auf Bogey. Und ich schon dachte, okay, Putten läuft mal wieder nicht. Habe mich dann aber zum Glück gefangen und irgendwie dann bin ich in den Flow reingekommen und dann lief es einfach.
Also ein Comeback hingelegt.
Ja, Comeback hingelegt und vor allem durchgezogen. Ich habe es dann relativ gut geschafft, ruhig zu bleiben und alles auszublenden. Also ich gucke auch den Score immer nicht an, ich möchte einfach nur mein Ding spielen. Also der Kurs, muss ich nochmal sagen, mega. Wirklich der absolute Hammer. Das gesamte Turnier war schon ein bisschen kleine Achterbahn der Gefühle. Die ersten beiden Runden waren nicht so gut. Gestern dafür wieder sehr gut. Heute, ich weiß ehrlich gesagt meinen Score gar nicht. Aber ich glaube, war auch nochmal eine ziemlich gute Runde. Von dem her überwiegt gerade echt die Freude und der Hype.
Sehr schön. Ja, ich habe auch von vielen gehört, der erste Tag war auch sehr tricky mit dem Wind. Das war, glaube ich, sehr, sehr, sehr tricky. Wie war das so für dich?
Ja, das war ziemlich schwierig, weil beim Training, vor allem am zweiten Tag, war nicht so viel Wind. Und dann musste ich auf einmal wieder ganz andere Scheiben werfen, ganz andere Winkel auch werfen. Da hatte ich ein bisschen zu kämpfen. Bin eben auch nicht so in diesen Flow reingekommen.
Aber hat am Ende gereicht.
Hat am Ende gereicht.
Sehr schön. Dann nochmal herzlichen Glückwunsch.
Dankeschön.
The final look at the leaderboard, Maren Moßig with a +4 round, the best round in the FPO field and a very deserved finish. And yeah, both other competitors shouldn't be too ashamed of their rounds. It's, you know, it is what it is.
And here's our champion, riding straight on the camera lens. You earned it, Maren.
That's a cool signature. Yeah, thanks for watching.
Yeah, she shouldn't change it, right?
Yeah. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to Dreamplay, and we'll see you at the next one.